Hey to YouTube, this is Jeff aka 101 Bronson back today with the next Sergio Corbucci movie review, and this one we're going to be taking a look at 1967's The Hellbenders, starring Joseph Cotten, Gino Pernice, Norma Bengall, hope I pronounced that right. Some genre regular faces pop up in this movie like Mulloch, Aldo Sanbrell, and also Benito Steffenelli. So some great genre face in here, and this is a great Sergio Corbucci movie. I've always liked this one since the first time I watched it. And the soundtrack, of course, is by the maestro Ennio Morricone, which I now have on CD. And a lot of people dislike this particular Morricone soundtrack because it's mostly this military drum march beat type of music. I fucking love it. Alright, I really enjoy the soundtrack. It's different from Morricone, but it proves that he's not a one-trick pony. That he never was a one-trick pony as far as I was concerned anyway. But this would prove it to the naysayers, because it's nothing like The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. It's nothing like any of the Dallas trilogy soundtrack. It's nothing like Once Upon a Time in the West. It's different. It shows that he can do things differently. And for my money, it works. Whatever he does, may rest in peace. The maestro, but. Anyway, The Hellbenders. It's a great movie, this one. Now let's get into the plot, why don't we? So it's about this group called the Hellbenders, where this group of Confederate soldiers takes place after the Civil War, so the South has surrendered by this point. However, this particular group doesn't really think that they lost the war, and they still want to fight for the cause, if you know what I mean, and especially Joseph Cotten, who plays the leader, sort of the patriarch, and his three sons. They're following his their father, of course. So anyway, this movie opens great. It's all about this money, which is being transported from point A to point B by the cavalry army, so by the Yankees. And the very opening of the movie, the Hellbenders ambush the military caravan, and they steal the shipment of money that they were carrying. And the plans for the money, at least what is explained, is that Joseph Cotten wants to build back an army to fight the North. That's pretty much the plot of the movie. It's not really a deep story, but there's a lot of double crosses and treachery going on. They have this plan that they steal the money, and they transport it themselves in a coffin. So they have a woman with them. So they want to sort of pass it off as a grieving widow. So they have a woman with them, and the coffin, which has the money, apparently, as a cover story, is supposed to be the grieving widow's husband. Now they have two women with them during the journey. The first woman, Kitty, I forget the actress name, she dies very quickly. She isn't with us in the movie for very long. She is the first one to sort of betray the Hellbenders. She tries to run off with the money, and yeah, she gets stabbed for her troubles by one of the crazy sons, Gino Pernice, the Corbucci regular. He has probably the biggest role in this movie to do. He has the most to do in this movie of any of his roles that I've seen him in, I believe. Of any of the roles I've seen him in, I believe I don't know how many spaghettis he'd done outside the Corbucci ones. I know he was in pretty much at least 4 or 5 of the Corbucci movies, maybe even 6. But this is definitely one where his role is the biggest, as the psychopath son, the rapist and murderer Jeff. Yeah, I know that's my name. Yeah, haha, make fun all you want. Yeah, but I liked it. He had a great part in this. He's one of the positives in this movie for me. Actually, the whole team of the Hellbenders are pretty much despicable characters. You don't really care for these characters too much. It's sort of a bit like The Hateful Eight. I bet you Quentin Tarantino was thinking of this movie when he wrote The Hateful Eight, because it's all about, some despicable and hateful, see what I did there, characters together in one movie. Anyway, after the first grieving widow of their plan is unfortunately taken out of the movie, they have to find another woman, otherwise the plan is kaput, as they say. So they get Norma Bengall, again I hope I pronounced it right, as the replacement. She plays the character of Claire. There's there's some stuff going on with her. And anyway, it's pretty much a road movie after the point of the River Massacre, which, by the way, getting on to another positive, the opening River Massacre is amazing. It's bloody, it's violent, it's quick, it's, you know, it's the fast pace of the action scene that you're used to from Corbucci. It's classic Corbucci, that whole opening River Massacre scene. Really love that one. Really love that scene. It's a great opening scene. And after that, one can say it is the highlight of the movie. I would probably agree. And after that, the movie sort of kind of turns into a road movie, which is pretty much these guys. They have to get to their place back home. So they have to travel a couple of days. So they just avoid authorities. They avoid the military and everything. And it's just pretty much from one event into another, but there's some great scenes in between. Like I said, the score by the maestro is fantastic. It keeps you on edge the whole story. You know, it's some suspenseful moments in there. People say Corbucci is really good at suspense. I disagree. Some of these moments, like the scene where they are in the town and they meet the priest, and the priest actually knew the fake ID of the, you know, the non-existent body in the coffin. He's like, oh, I knew him. And yeah, it's like, oh shit, they're gonna get caught now. But yeah, I think there's some great suspenseful scenes in there. It's more about that than action in this movie, but I didn't mind that. I know some people didn't like it for that aspect, that it was more suspense as opposed to action, or, you know, shootouts, if you will. But I like it. I think, you know, we had a great action scene in the opening. And the rest is pretty much a suspense movie. I dig it. I really dig it. I really dig the vibe of this movie. Like I said, the double crosses and betrayals, I think, are done very well, and suspense throughout is there. Every time I watch this movie, I'm glued to the screen, because even though I know what's gonna happen, it's still like, oh my god, you know, I just can't explain it, but it just has a factor about it, this movie, that I just really like it. I really like it. And there's just talk about another positive. There's also, even though it's lacking on action, but like somewhere in the middle of the movie, there's also a great fight in a saloon. And I thought that was another great fight scene in a Corbucci movie. I mean, his saloon fights are usually pretty good. You know, Django had a good one. The Specialist had one. And I think this one can be right up there. It's a fight actually featuring Benito Steffenelli, who was the Italian stuntman in a lot of these movies. He was also featured in a lot of these movies as an actor, but he was usually the one doing the stunts. So, you know, if you saw him on screen, there's going to be some great action, some great choreographed fight scenes, and they certainly deliver in this one. Anyway, I don't really have any negatives. For me, I think it's just a very good and classic Corbucci movie. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but for me, I'll take this any old day of the week. I love this movie. This is one that I can watch over and over. I think this was my 5th rewatch of this movie. So in total, I've probably seen it 6 times now. So it's still not getting old or dull or boring. Every time I watch it, like I said, I always come back to this movie with great fondness and pleasure. So I'm going to give this movie a final score of 3.5 stars out of 5. A solid score for a solid movie. So, as always, I would like to know what you guys think about the Hellbenders, or the Italian title I Crudeli. My Italian really isn't good, despite me wearing an Italian flag on my shirt, but anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed this review once again. Hope you are all doing well, staying safe and healthy. As always, I would love to chat with you guys about this movie, so leave a comment down there. Love to know what you guys think. Maybe some of you actually didn't like this movie, because I do know this is a movie among the fans that is like a love it or hate it type of movie. And I'm definitely in the love it camp. So if you're in the hate it camp, by all means, let's discuss. Let's put some sense in the air now. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, of course. I mean, you know, one of my lesser favorites is The Specialist, which a lot of people do really like. So, you know, it's all our own opinion. It's all we're all entitled to our own opinion. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed once again. Stay safe and healthy. See you guys in the next one, which will be Minnesota Clay from 1964. I will see you guys then, and as always, this has been 101 Bronson, signing off, saying adios, compañeros.
Out of the adventurous West comes a motion picture masterpiece, Minnesota Clay, a picture whose power has the force of a tornado. Minnesota Clay, the most spectacular gunfighter of them all.